And that's what I mean by messing with people's minds. Now, we're going to try something else, and Becca, we're going to use you for this, okay? Because you look like the kind of person to me that thinks that they're in control of things, okay? So I've got a couple of questions for you. Do you believe in fate?
Yes.
Do you? Really? Really? Do you believe in free will?
Yes.
Ah. Well, then how do you reconcile the dichotomy? Oh, that's fine. You see, if there's fate and there's free will, fate means things will happen whether we influence them or not. Free will means we influence things to happen and fate, gone. That's the dichotomy. You see, I reconcile the dichotomy like this. Even though there are random things that happen in the world, sometimes fate intervenes, even when we think we're exercising our free will. And then you experience a coincidence. Sometimes a coincidence points to both fate and free will. I'll show you what I mean. If I mix these cards up, regardless of the position of the cards or whether I turn some face up or some face down, one of them will call to you. And I'd like you to put your eye on that card. Here is your eye. Place it on the card that calls to you, and that is where we will begin. Do you believe you have exercised your free will?
Yes.
Well, good, if that makes you feel better. Now you're going to get a chance to do it again. You'll name a number, any number that you want, as long as it's a number that you can count to. So no fractions, no decimals, not pi or something like that. Ooh, pi sounds good.
Well, I could go 1, 1.5, 2, 2.
You could if you want, but we're going to be using whole numbers in the regular Arabic counting numeral system,
1, 2.
not Roman numerals. Okay, you're with me.
Okay.
And you'll be moving your eye randomly here. Okay, what number? Oh, since we're going to count to it, let's not count something really big. And since we're going to count to it, let's count something that's not too small. So somewhere in a mid-range that you feel comfortable counting. But other than that, I don't want to influence you. What number would you like?
9.
9. That's a good number to choose. You'll be moving your eye either this way or that way and counting to 9. When you count, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you bounce back and forth. You don't jump, from one to another, or jump to this card, or jump around there, or count this as 1. You know what I'm saying, right? Okay? You ready?
Ready.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and count. Either direction.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
That's great. All right? And that's what 9 would end up on. 10 would have ended up here on the next card. 8 would have ended up back where you started. Had you counted in the opposite direction, you would have ended up on this card on 9. Or if you had chosen 10, that card. As you see, your number and the direction that you go determines where you end up. Again, she feels like she exercised her free will. And yet, you have landed on a face-down card. My prediction is still in here. My prediction is a face-down card. All right. Let's go a little bit further with it. It's the only one that's in here, and you could have ended up on this face-down card, so we'll turn it over. You'll notice that these cards are all black face cards, either clubs or spades. Those cards were not chosen, and yet the one that you ended up on is the only red-faced face card, and it matches exactly. Now you're going to think, what if I had counted the opposite direction? I would have ended up on the jack of spades or clubs, whatever was there. Well, that's where fate intervened and gives you something to ponder. All right. Scotty, are you familiar with the alphabet?